the evening anchor at KGW. Though when I'm not working, I like to spend as much time as possible out here in nature. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. You see, what happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to talk about it, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Thanks so much for joining us here on KGW Plus. I'm Stephanie Domerat. Chris McGinnis will join us in just a moment with a look at your weather. First, let's get you caught up on today's top stories. A Portland domestic violence shelter just opened its second shelter location. Bradley Engel is Portland's oldest domestic violence shelter, and today it added another 60 beds for survivors. Staff say they can help 24 more families get out of bad situations. The shelter provides around-the-clock care to domestic violence survivors. The program is getting some much needed help as well from Multnomah County, which is contributing close to $3 million to expand services. Overall, the shelter will now be able to help 80 people at a time. A jury has found a Clackamas County man guilty of killing his estranged wife. Back in November of 2024, 72-year-old Michael Fournier murdered Susan Lane, who was found dead in the woods near Welch's. Fournier shot Lane just weeks after she signed divorce papers. The judge sentenced him to life in prison with a possibility of parole after 25 years. The U.S. Labor Department released its jobs report today. American employers unexpectedly cut 92,000 jobs last month, a sign that the labor market remains under strain. The unemployment rate blipped up to 4.4%. Revisions also cut 69,000 jobs from December and January payrolls. This adds to the economic uncertainty over the war with Iran, which has raised oil prices and saddled businesses and consumers with unforeseen costs. Let's give you a live look now at the Capitol, where we are just days away from the end of the Oregon legislative session. Lawmakers are busy passing a number of bills. Legislators say the bills are designed to protect Oregon from federal overreach. KGW's Thomas Schultz has a look.
There's four big bills to talk about here. The first would set clear standards for law enforcement. Officers would have to display their name or badge number while on duty. Under the measure, facial coverings like masks would be limited. They'd only be allowed when officers go undercover or during some tactical operations. The next bill, Senate Bill 1570, prohibits hospitals from sharing sensitive information like someone's country of birth or immigration status unless they're required by law or a court order to do so to ensure continued care. Third, a House bill would give people the right to sue federal or out-of-state agents if they unlawfully enter private property. That means agents would have to alert the Oregon Department of Justice of planned operations beforehand. And finally, another bill would make it illegal for employers to discriminate against employees who lawfully update work authorization documents. Immigration status could also not be used in civil court cases when it is irrelevant. And this is legislation that's all passed the House and Senate and now goes to Governor Tina Kotek's desk for her signature. And the clock was ticking here. The legislative session ends on Sunday. In Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
A bill to increase Oregon's lodging tax to fund wildlife conservation and recovery is now headed to the governor's desk, despite fierce objections from the Oregon Restaurant and Lodging Association. House Bill 4134 passed its final hurdle in the Senate on Wednesday. Last night on Straight Talk, the association's president argued the tax hike not only puts an unfair burden on the already struggling tourism industry, but that it could also set a dangerous precedent.
Once we open this door to 5 new state agencies, we will never be able to shut it again. And it's not like natural resources aren't funded currently. There's many revenue streams that are in place for other state agencies. They've just had to go to the general fund for the state of Oregon to get those resources and have them allocated.
You can watch the full episode of Straight Talk anytime right here on KGW+. In Washington, time is running out for state lawmakers to get their policy priorities passed. Policy bills have a deadline of 5 p.m. today to have a chance of becoming law. After that, the focus shifts to the budgetary bills, like the so-called millionaire's tax, which can be considered up until next Thursday, which will mark the end of the legislative session. Meantime, a Washington man says the State Department of Licensing exposed his personal data and never warned him about it. A complaint filed earlier this week claims that when the DOL upgraded its License Express system back in 2018, it created a security flaw that allowed someone to access driver's license records, change of address, file requests, and replacement licenses. The filing claims the flaw sometimes sent dozens or even hundreds of licenses to the same address.
Because the Department of Licensing didn't follow state law in alerting people to the breach, even those who might be victims of an identity theft from this wouldn't know why they were.
Washington Governor Bob Ferguson says his team has flagged the allegation but does not yet know whether there is any truth to it. They say they're now reaching out to the Department of Licensing for more information. Well, measles is on the rise in Washington. The state's Department of Health has confirmed 26 cases this year. That's more than double the cases reported in all of 2025. Nearly 80% of this year's cases are in children. Nationally, the U.S. has surpassed 1,100 measles cases so far this year. Health officials say the MMR vaccine is the best defense against the measles. According to a new report from the Transportation Bureau, traffic deaths have declined in Portland for the second year in a row. In 2025, the city recorded 39 traffic-related deaths. That's down from 57 in 2024, and it's the lowest since 2018. City officials credit targeted enforcement, speed limit reductions, and street safety improvements for the drop. Let's give you a live look outside now. Look at those clouds out there, a very gray afternoon. Let's see how your weather is shaping up for the rest of the weekend. Let's check in now with Chris McGinnis.
Gray, little drippy here and there. Yep, we got that. Radar backs that up. We've got some pretty good light rain now falling up and down I-5 corridor. Light rain, but rain nonetheless down towards Salem. Canby will take you up into the metro area. We've got a little band of rain right over the I-5 corridor from Vancouver to Portland. And some heavier returns starting to show up south of Hillsborough here in Washington County. That's denoted by the yellows that you see. Perhaps the wettest stretch of drive right now, by the way, is I-5 between Ridgefield and Longview. It's raining more than not and steadily at that. So, yeah, kind of soupy out there, wet. Choose your adjective here. This will be a shot of rain that will move on off to the east, and then we will likely see that replaced by more recurring rounds of showers as we head into this afternoon. All right, Wells Fargo sky camera showing that slate gray sky. It's 49 at the airport with some light rain. Elsewhere, we're in generally the upper 40s to about 50. The warmer spots in both Gresham and Oregon City. We go to the south. Salem checking in with 50. Albany right now at 52, which will probably be our high for the day here in Portland, somewhere between about 50 and 52, with occasional rain in the picture. Don't look for any sun breaks today, but tomorrow we may see some sun breaks, and with that, some warmer temperatures for Saturday. Saturday does look like the nicer of the 2 days for the weekend, with a return chance of rain on Sunday. I'll show you that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris. Thank you. The KGW Great Food Drive is going on right now, and we need your help to reach our goal of providing 1.2 million meals for people and families in need in our area. One way you can help is by making a donation online at kgw.com/fooddrive. A $25 donation can provide a week's worth of meals for a family. And it's a great week to donate because all week long, Rivermark Community Credit Union will match the first $5,000 donated. We want to thank local Toyota dealers, Pacific Office Automation, Rivermark Community Credit Union, and Safeway for supporting this year's food drive.
it's definitely something to be proud of.
Coming up, a local high school chess team saying checkmate to the entire state. Meet the champions from Jesuit High School coming up next.
I'm Matthew Herchick, new morning anchor at KGW. I'm a huge sports fan, and I know I might be from the Buckeye State, but I'm excited to explore what the Rose City has to offer. I want to make sure you're prepared for the day, whether it's bringing you breaking news or sharing those inspirational stories that make you smile. We've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to Portland's #1 streaming newscast, Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Welcome back. In today's Pacific Storyland, we are spotlighting a very special high school team that just brought home a state championship. Catherine Cook and photojournalist Kyle Connolly show us how they did it.
Okay, guys, let's get going here. You guys are always thinking, playing within yourself.
To be a high school state champion takes a lot of discipline.
It's definitely something to be proud of.
Especially in this game.
Where I would agree that it's a sport.
Where one false move
that's checkmate.
Can spell defeat.
Good game.
Good game.
Last weekend, they were all great games for Jesuit High School's chess teams. They won 3 state championship trophies, varsity, JV, and overall. Plus, all 5 varsity players won their respective boards.
I'm proud of them.
Dr. Russell Fiorella is team coach, though he prefers team moderator. He can play, but the kids can play.
They don't really ask me often to play games. They know that, it probably would be over pretty quickly.
For you?
For me. I mean, they would destroy me.
Take Ishan Kodarapu. He's a U.S. chess national master, a ranking only 1% of players ever achieve. He's also just a kid.
I love coming after school on Thursdays every week to enjoy, teach chess, play chess with my friends, and just one of the most fun times of my week.
For this team, humility is a big part of success.
You can't just play on your own and get better. You have to learn from other people who are better than me. Looks like Ishan, Danny.
Aiden Chan is a true student of the game, a game that often parallels life. Every move has a consequence. Every win requires patience and strategy.
If you can't find even that little reason why one move is better, you're just going to be just that tad bit worse during the game, and then you might end up becoming a lot worse.
The game requires a lot of creativity, and I like pulling out that creative side of myself.
For Ademidun Adebolu, the best part of winning these trophies is that they did it together.
We were a little bit scared of the competition, but just us as a community, a chess team, I feel like I'm just happy that we were able to pull through.
No knocking down players, no backboard slams, just chessboards. And everyone should see it.
To see them get the recognition that they deserve felt really good.
In Southwest Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
If you have an idea for Pacific Storyland, Catherine would love to hear from you. You can text us at the number you see here on your screen, 503-226-5088, or you can email pacificstoryland@kgw.com. I just love that team, Chris. What a cool program.
Yeah, you know, my 8-year-old was actually in chess club in the fall, and he started beating me at chess, so.
Nice.
Good for Patrick. Not good for Dad. Anyway, we are getting a little bit wet out there right now, but here's a sneak peek at your weekend forecast. And as mentioned, tomorrow actually has a chance to be a pretty decent day before we return to some light rain. Of course, we spring forward with the clocks this weekend as well. We'll walk you through this and next week, coming up in just a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Peak bloom dates are March 29th to April 1st.
Well, there you have it. It is time to put winter in the rear view mirror. Did he have cherry blossoms coming down? That's fun. Something like that.
I love that we're just telling Mother Nature when she's going to perform for us.
Well, I guess they can guess, or it's science. You know this stuff. All right, well, the National Park Service announced when peak bloom is expected to take place this year over the next several weeks. Millions of people will be flocking to Washington, D.C. to see the cherry blossoms in bloom. And that's something, of course, us Portlanders look forward to as well. This was the peak bloom in Portland last spring at Tom McCall Waterfront Park. Speaking of spring, clocks spring forward this Sunday, so don't forget that.
And then the actual spring arrives 2 weeks from today.
Okay, coming up.
The vernal equinox.
What do you think our prime time will be? Will it be the same, March 29th?
It's usually April. It's usually later
Around
April.
April.
It seems to be like, pretty perfect for,
It's so pretty.
My tulips are already coming up. The daffodils have blossomed.
Yes.
The crocuses have blossomed, so I guess the tulips are next in line.
Yeah. The cherry blossoms, I've seen some around town already.
The maple trees are coming out, and I'm starting to sneeze a little bit, so, there's
bless
that.
you.
From that to, yes, bless me. Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk about from the talk of spring to the talk of maybe some winter weather. Not down low per se, but okay. First of all, occasional showers this afternoon. We've already gone through that. Milder tomorrow, a little wet Sunday. I'll show you that with Futurecast. And then next week, the second full week of March, actually looks pretty cool. On and off wet and lowering snow levels. In fact, maybe kissing the tops of the West Hills at times. I mean, there's no Arctic outbreak, but it will be cool and wet and somewhat snowy next week. Let me take you up to Timberline Lodge, where we have some light snowflakes falling right now. It's currently 32 degrees. Not a lot of new snow up there in the last 24 hours, but the bases have done well in the last week to 10 days, and they're going to get a little more help next week. Check this out. This is the run of the European model over the next 7 days. And I wanted to point out that at some point next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, snow levels may get as low as 1,000 feet. maybe. There's a little bit that has to come into play here, but there are some nice bullseyes of heavy snow, 1 to 2 feet plus in the Oregon Cascades expected next week. So next week could be a good snow producer in the Oregon Cascades. All right, from the mountains to the coast where it is socked in. Man, you can't even make out, can you? You can sort of see the Cascade headland there off in the distance, but man, it has been obscured here. This is the live look from the Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City, where it is gray and misty and foggy. It's gray over downtown, of course, where we're seeing some on and off light rain at 49 at the airport. If you look closely, you can see the very base of Mount Hood here from the Dalles. Otherwise, we're pretty well socked in. East side of the state, though, is actually enjoying a pretty nice day, and the visible satellite imagery bears that out here, out through the Columbia Basin, down through Central Oregon, over towards Bend. Sun River actually enjoying a little bit of sunshine on this Friday afternoon. So a few peaks of sunshine for them. Willamette Valley in the I-5 corridor, we are socked in with clouds and some light rain showers. Evidence with the live camera here in Salem, where it is currently raining lately. Here's the setup as we have warmer air trying to work its way in after the storm system that brought the good snow to the area, the Cascades that was earlier this week. That's kicking out to the east and may actually bring a round of severe weather for parts of the Plain States. That is another sign of the transitioning seasons as we get into rough weather episodes out for the eastern part of the U.S. We will get a little break in the action tomorrow. So overnight tonight, wet weather begins to dissipate. And here's Futurecast on Saturday morning. We start to erode the cloud cover a little bit. I mean, if the modeling is right here, we go to mostly sunny conditions south of Wilsonville, and that could easily spike temperatures up to near 60 for some folks. In fact, I do have Portland right at 60 tomorrow. And then we cool it back down with some light rain back in the forecast on Sunday. Sunday and Monday's rain is light, but what you will notice here, Stephanie, is the temperatures get a whole lot cooler next week, and that will mean lowering snow levels and an active second week of March.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. Well, still ahead, we are learning new details after asbestos shut down a Trader Joe's in Southeast Portland. Coming up, where they found it and the next steps to reopening.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Trina Green, a morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
New today, we're learning the asbestos that closed down the Trader Joe's in Southeast Portland was found in the store's flooring. According to the Department of Environmental Quality, the initial samples came back negative because they didn't include all of the flooring material. Mastic is an older adhesive that was commonly used to glue floor tiles and can contain asbestos, which is known to cause certain types of cancer. After a member of the public complained about black dust they saw in the store, another sample was conducted, which did confirm asbestos. The concentrations of asbestos, though, are only 2 to 3%, which are low and likely not to cause any health concerns.
We will want to see those post-cleanup work sample results before to verify that that work was effective before they reopen that store. So we are investigating this matter, and we will investigate further as to how this occurred. But it's too early to tell if, like, for example, if any violations may be issued.
It's unclear when the store will reopen. According to a toxicologist with the Oregon Health Authority, there is minimal risk given just how little asbestos there was. We'll be right back after this quick break.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
It looks like a canine deputy from Ohio is in the doghouse accused of destroying this lamb toy. It happens. Officers describe the scene as disturbing, with stuffing scattered across the floor after an investigation officers named Canine Moby as the top suspect because, according to authorities, there were, quote, zero signs of forced entry and signs of lots of fun, probably. They believe Moby's motive was that it was too squeaky and too tempting to resist.
Look at that face.
Yeah, he can't be in trouble. No, I don't agree.
That's rough.
Crime suspect. Did you
Rough.
see that? That was really cute. Ah, okay. Yeah.
I had all morning to work on that. I had all morning to work on your forecast too, and I made it a little bit better for tomorrow. So there, I did something for you. I've got a few sun breaks expected tomorrow with a high near 60. We spring forward this weekend. That daylight that we lose in the morning, we make up in about 3 weeks or so.
Okay.
So the sunrise on Monday morning when we all go back to school, work in school, will be in the 7 o'clock hour, but we'll make up for that pretty quickly. Sunset on Sunday, 7:07.
Ooh, sounds good. Thanks, Chris. Hey, a reminder, we have added more live news. You can check it out here, 7 to 9 and at 5:30 in the evening. We'll see you back here today at 4. Have a great day.